It's 7:40. Let's do this. Good evening, Hampton Roads. Good evening, Northeast North Carolina. My name is David Aldrich, Chief Meteorologist of WTKR News 3 Television, and you are watching First Warning Live, where we focus on weather. That's sponsored by Marco's Pizza. We're going to be giving away not just 22 pizzas this week, which we normally do. How about 122 pizzas this week? But wait a minute. You were off Monday and Tuesday. I was. That means you only have to give away 122 pizzas today and tomorrow. Yeah, it's very tough. It's tough being me, but we can get through it. If you want to participate, it really is that simple. I'll talk about that in a moment. But we got to talk about this coastal low. We've got a coastal low that's going to be coming up out of nowhere. Well, we could say it's coming from somewhere. It's coming from Cuba, Florida. It's coming up from the south. It's not even there yet, but it will be forming. I want to give you our headlines. We got a cold front tonight working its way through. Winds a bit picking up. We got a peak gust of 38 miles per hour at Norfolk International today. That was around 5 o'clock. Cooler weather is on the way. It's already refreshing. Going to be refreshing Thursday and Friday with sunshine. Love that. Gotta love that. And sunshine will be the dominant theme, especially on Thursday, where we might increase the clouds Friday. But then it's the weekend coastal storm. Boo! Strong winds, heavy rain, and more likely than not, no name at all. You probably could give it a name, whatever you want to call it. Let's keep it above board. But anyway, you can give it a name, but it's not Jerry. Jerry's out in the middle of the Atlantic. We'll talk about him, talk about it later on here in the live stream. Let's get to the radar. It shows you some rain showers that have left the Commonwealth, but if we zoom in a little bit tighter, here at 7:41, I do see rain, maybe a few downpours around Gum Neck, south of Alligator, Wanchese, and Roanoke Island getting some rain, additional rain in northeast North Carolina, all throughout Dare County. It's dried out, however, for Elizabeth City. It's dried out for Hertford and Corolla, where things are pretty quiet at the moment. I do see some notes here. Maybe this is from last week. I think Kim Thompson was congratulating winners. Soon to be, Kim. I think you yourself are going to be a winner. Well, you're a winner in my book. You watch all the time. You and Taj and so many others that watch. I have good reason that you're going to your mind will be blown. How are we going to give away 100 pizzas? Well, 122 in 2 live streams. Stay with me. I'll get to that in a moment. But first, let's get back to the radar. It's raining in Wanchese. It's raining in areas around Hatteras. And it has been raining around Ocracoke today. Picked up a total of 0.09 in Norfolk. But the cold front, once it moves away, and it will move away, it's going to form a whole new low. What does that look like? Well, on the tail end over here, right, by the time this energy gets over open waters, it's going to create some instability, and a whole new low is going to come up the East Coast, and it's going to be potentially a weekend, weekend spoiler. Wait a minute, isn't this the 47th annual Peanut Festival in Suffolk? It is. Isn't this when we've got the Fleet Fest where you can tour Navy warships and military demonstrations this week? Yes. So you're saying it's going to rain? Yes. Sadly, yes. But maybe if I'm hold my breath, I think we're going to be in for a fantastic weekend on the 18th and 19th, which is the following weekend. We had a beautiful one in the rearview mirror. I can tell you I had a great time in Busch Gardens, had a great time in Colonial Williamsburg. My pictures are on Facebook. But this weekend, got to pack the flexibility. Who does that? Well, you'll see what I mean. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So we've got, did I mention we have freeze watches in effect for parts of Virginia that go into Friday morning. So Thursday night, Friday morning. I'm talking about Harrisonburg. Can we zoom in? We sure can. It does not affect Charlottesville, but for us who are proud of Virginia, want to know, hey, I want to represent some cold air. How about Harrisonburg? They have, in fact, a freeze watch that will run from Thursday night to 9 a.m. Friday, where temperatures could drop down to as low as 31 degrees. And that's going to affect about 209,000 people. That's a lot of people. So if you're looking for some cold air, if you're yearning for cold air, that's where you go. Head northeast, or northwest. We got a coastal system coming up this weekend, which we'll talk about. But hey, wind gusts even at this hour at 7:44. Still gusting 30 in Norfolk. Post front, the front's moved through here. 32 is our current wind gusts in Virginia Beach. It's 22 in Jackson, North Carolina, 23 in Manual. If you're on the call, I want to say hi to you. Wind gusts in Virginia Beach at the moment, 32 miles an hour, and Currituck at 22. I love being able to put your voice, your comment, your observation on the screen. And if you've got one, I'll do my best to put it on the screen. It's not hard to do, but I'd love to be able to say hi. I got a couple of comments have come in so far. I got Kim very welcoming. She says, welcome back, David. Glad to be here. And thank you so much, Kim, because I would like you to be one of these pizza winners. Because as I've mentioned before, maybe I haven't mentioned lately, there's a new store opening, right? The one that's on South Battlefield Boulevard. So as a kind of like a grand opening, Marcos is giving away pizza, 100 pizzas. Anyone who wants to claim it, and I'll show you how that works here in just a moment. But I got to get through the nuts and bolts. I want to get through a lot of this weather. Peak gusts, I mentioned in Norfolk was 38, peak gusts in Virginia Beach so far 32. Now the tide forecast may be nuisance tomorrow, but it might become a minor issue for those of you by midday Friday, and it's only going to get more intense. Now, there'll be a lot of sunshine tomorrow, increasing clouds on Friday, but let's just jump to the nuts and bolts. Let me show you rainfall potential. Go ahead and assume that we're going to pick up probably a general 1 to 3 in southeast Virginia. 1 to 3 inches of rain from this coastal storm is on the table, but you could double that. You could double that, 3 to 6 potentially in other parts of North Carolina, maybe a 7. 6 is more than, or 7's more than 6, but 3 to 6 plus may be more common as this southern slider comes up the coast. And it's going to cause some major headaches because of the timing. It comes in really hard Saturday afternoon and into Saturday night and into Sunday. It's just the way it goes. And here it is broken down for you. I wanted to show you how this looks in, by the time we hit Monday, it will begin to wrap around more moisture on the backside. So this thing's going to roll up like a marble without a name, may not ever have a chance of getting a name, but it's one of those systems where it causes a lot of disruption for outdoor activities. There's no getting around that. Got a couple of notes from Taj. He's on here. I got a note from Luke. Luke is on here. Luke, would you like some free pizza? I think he would. If he is there, yeah, hi, Luke. Luke, I have an easy way to get some free pizza. If you watch this live stream, I will almost assure you, because you're watching early on, they're going to give away 100 pizzas. And when they get to 100, there won't be 101. They're just going to fly out pizzas for the first 100 people that decide to do what I'm going to give you instructions on to do. You'll get the pizza. Now tomorrow, we're still going to do the traditional winners that have been randomly selected from our sales department. But I get ahead of myself. So we just kind of recap. We've got a weekend coastal storm. The crazy winds, look at the Outer Banks. This is at 4 o'clock Saturday. 4 o'clock Saturday afternoon, you got wind gusts in the Outer Banks already approaching 50 miles an hour. So you've got tropical storm force gusts coming into play. They'll work their way right into Southside. 51 here, that's 8 o'clock Sunday morning. And then if you think you're exempt or immune, if you're on the Eastern Shore, think again, because by here we got 51 Eastern Shore, that's 10 p.m. Sunday. So it's no picnic Saturday or Sunday. It's a slow-moving system, hence the slow-moving coastal storm may ruin a lot of outdoor activities. This is the sad message I have to deliver. So you can imagine, I want to kind of counterbalance the bad news with I can get you some free pizza. How about that? All right, so this is all to be said, that this will too shall pass. Here's another look, different model, I guess essentially you're looking at Kitty Hawk here, 48, 9 p.m. Saturday. I'm looking at gusts around 51, Virginia Beach, 10 a.m. Sunday, and Melfa. And so it goes. And really depending on track, really depending on location and intensity of this low, it's going to throw back some nasty winds in addition to coastal flooding. Beach forecast tomorrow is 5 to 7 feet. We'll go back here in a second. All right, so let me go back. The big news is there's no longer 5 locations, but 6. This is key. No longer 5 locations that are participating in the free contests that Marcos does typically. There are 3 in Virginia Beach with the 757 phone number. 1 in Chesapeake is now 2 in Chesapeake and 1 in Norfolk. So if you want to win free pizza tomorrow, and you really don't want to lift a finger other than go to our webpage, WTKR.com/Marcos, you will be eligible to win. However, because this store might have a big appeal if you're within, 10 miles of Battlefield Boulevard, and you might be wondering, what does that look like? How many of you know this place? This is Marketplace. This is the same place Marcos is located. They just opened up, and they're located right here. You can see their logo here. So they're in kind of like a marketplace right across the street from Great Bridge Middle School, and this is kind of what it looks like. Not kind of, what it is what it looks like. It's now open. So what they want to do, if you're ready to write this down, they are going to give 100 pizzas away all you have to do is jot this down. I know I'm gonna keep it up for a few minutes because some of you are like, could you show that address again? Here it is. First Warning Live exclusive. Help celebrate the newest location by claiming your free pizza. They ask tough questions like, when do you want to pick up your pizza? I'm not kidding you. That's how easy this is. What time would you like to pick up your free pizza? That's one of the questions on this form. So go to form.jotform.com, and then it's a / Marco's Pizza Virginia / First Warning Live, abbreviated FWL giveaway. That's the URL. If you go there right now, form.jotform.com / Marco's Pizza Virginia / FWL giveaway. I'll leave it up there for a few moments. They're giving away 100 pizzas. I've already gone on there, and I'm kind of chuckling. I was like, are there strings attached? No. Help celebrate the newest location by claiming your free pizza. So this isn't like, hey, you're in a random drawing. Marco's wants to give 100 pies away just from this new store. So all you have to do is put your name, your email, and a few other questions, but the pertinent question is, what time would you like to pick up your free pizza, and what free pizza would you like? Would you like pepperoni? Would you like cheese? Would you like sausage? Would you like a deluxe, mushroom, all meat, white cheesy, chicken fresco, or garden pizza? You couldn't make it any easier than that. Pretty sweet. So hopefully if you're watching, or even you're watching an hour or two after this is put on Facebook here, because we're doing this live, hopefully you will be one of the first 100 to claim your pizza. All you have to do is pick it up. That's it. That's about it. That's it. That's all you have to do. And if you're not sure where it is, the address is right here, 524 Battlefield Boulevard South, Chesapeake. Pick up a free pizza. Pretty sweet. And I'll come back to this a little bit later, but very appreciative of all the things they're doing. We're also giving away the Pizza for a Year certificate starting tomorrow because it's a Thursday. This is where an individual gets one large, one topping pizza every month for free. We've talked about this before. Love it. And also the other aspect is that if you haven't tried Marco's, it's a great chance to pick it up. A free pizza. It's pretty cool. As I mentioned here, this is the First Warning Live exclusive. I've never seen 100 pizzas go out the door this quick, but they're going to be quick. So hopefully you're participating. And if you're on here, want to say hi. Cheryl says hey. Cheryl's on here. Hi, Cheryl Owens Holloman. Good to see you. Hope you're having a good time. We're going to get back to the weather. Sandra says hello. Somebody in Chesapeake's got to be out there. Thank you. You're more than welcome. Marcos loves weather. Can you tell? And I love pizza, so it's a wonderful, wonderful addition. And Asia's on here. Asia wants pizza. You know what, Asia? It's so simple. All you have to do is go to that URL. I've already circled it, underlined it. It's right here. It's form.jotform.com. This is a one-time deal. We've been doing this since May, and every time your name gets put into a drawing like a fishbowl and it's randomly selected. Here, you have total control, whether you're getting a pizza or not. Go pick it up. What time would you like to pick up your pizza? They want to have it hot and ready for you. And if they know everybody's coming at 12:30, everyone's coming at 3, everyone's coming at 3:30, you put your time in there of when you want to pick it up, and it's just one per household. So there you have it. And if you all come back at the end here, I just want to get back to weather. But I am very thankful for Marcos. And hey, when you've been off for a couple of days, it's nice to be able to be rewarded with extra pizza. 122 pizzas today and tomorrow. I have to go out the door. All right, surf height, 5 to 7 feet tomorrow with high rip current risk. All right, lows today, 68. Has happened, I believe, is our current temperature. We had a low this morning of 71, but as of 4:59, it was 69. We've tipped down to about 68 in the last hour. In Norfolk, 69 Virginia Beach. Our high was 76. Take note of that. That is just about 1 degree above normal. How do you know? Because normal's 75. I kind of underlined it here. Record high 92 from 1941. But some of us got higher into the low 80s, like Hampton. And a big shout out to Emporia. You got 80. Manio hit 80 today. So some folks did get a little warmer. Now rain chances, sadly, it's kind of a spoiler to say, hey, is this a washout? Well, it's no picnic. If it's not a washout where it's not raining every hour of the day, it's windy the entire weekend. 60% to 80%, and it might just ramp up Saturday night and into Sunday. And I am working Saturday, so if it helps anyone know, I'll be live streaming on Saturday. How's that? Maybe like, I don't know, around 6? That'd be a good time, because I don't know if we even have a newscast at 6, so I'll just live stream at 6 p.m. on Saturday. I was off Monday and Tuesday. Happy to do it. I love the fact that we can talk and have conversations because you're going to see things I don't see. You're going to make observations in your neighborhood that I might not be aware of, and you can interact with me at any time. That's why this platform exists. All right, so let me show you what I'm looking at. I'm focused on what's going to happen here. Once this cold front moves off the coast of South Carolina, something new will form, a new low. But it's not this thing. This is Jerry. Jerry stormed down across that might graze parts of the northern Leeward Islands. Outside of that, Jerry's not a factor. It's going to move to the east of Bermuda, and if you're needing some identification, that's Bermuda, the little island there. So we're not even worried about Jerry. This is a storm that's going to come up here that doesn't have a name, so that makes it even more challenging and maybe more frustrating. But Jerry is currently a tropical storm with winds around 60. We had Imelda, and we've had Umberto and Gabrielle. Well, you know the list. Karen is the next name, and Lorenzo on the list. Now, this is a segment I'm going to call the Tony Nargi segment. He is our aficionado, our newest weather team member from this summer. Tony is very, very astute with all things tornadoes and loves weather all around the country. He wanted to throw out this trivia question. I think it's a great one. For those of you that are in the weather community, might know the answer to this. Some of you may not know, but what were the peak winds of the Enderlin, North Dakota EF5 tornado on June 20th. Now, I'll give you some background on this, and it's really not hard to surmise, but there was a tornado in North Dakota on June 20th, and it was rated at the time as a high EF3. But using, don't you love this, using forensic meteorology, being able to figure out, well, there was a train, 33 carloads that got derailed, and so all this, and the distance that things moved, they decided as of Monday, that June 20th tornado was, in fact, an EF5, and it's the first one. It's the first one since the Moore, Oklahoma tornado in 2013, a long time ago. So, I mean, if you're a weather nerd like me, my question to you is A, B, or C? You had a chance. I'll give you another minute here. Not even. I'll give you a half a minute to make a pick. I got Taj Brown, quick to answer. He says it's 210. 210, my friend, is the absolute correct answer. So I'll give a shout out to Taj Brown, give a shout out to Tony Nargi, meteorologist, and he noted the EF5 tornado, first one since 2013, I already mentioned, was from Moore, Oklahoma, but this happened this summer. It's not often. I mean, I do remember from a hurricane standpoint, they actually declared the 1992 Hurricane Andrew was not a Category 5 initially. It was down the road, posthumously. Long after the hurricane, they decided all the equipment was ripped off from the Hurricane Center, so we're going to call it a Cat 5. Well, conversely, this is a tornado, so we use the Fujita scale, the enhanced Fujita scale from Ted Fujita, who was a professor at the University of Chicago, Japanese-American who loved tornado damage. He'd go there after the storms were over. But to have an enhanced EF5, we don't have them that often, but now they're saying this was June 20th. Some of the facts that you might find interesting, I'll put them on the screen. 210, it debarked trees. A tanker car was tossed a total of 475 feet, and apparently was a big thing on X, a big thing on formerly Twitter, but happened on June 20th. First confirmed EF5 tornado since the Moore, Oklahoma of 2013. So you go back 12 years. Pretty interesting, but it's more the gee whiz factor. Let's keep moving because tomorrow I really think I won't call it the calm before the storm, but it's the quiet before the storm. It's going to be windy. I still think winds 10 to 20 tomorrow, a lot of sunshine. We'll wake up in the mid to upper 50s, 64 at noon. We'll struggle to get to 66 in the shade. So whatever you're doing tomorrow, we're just kind of waiting for this coastal low to form. But the winds will still be a factor. Normal high is 75, will be about 9 degrees below normal, partly cloudy at 8 o'clock at 61. So that's really, if there's nothing else that you got from this stream, maybe some free pizza. But this is probably where might be of use to you. Some weather intel that you'll want a light jacket if 66 seems cool to you. Now, if you're looking at the October highs, we've now had 3 above normal. Today was just 1 degree above normal, but 5 of them below. And I have to tell you, because I was off several days, Friday was delicious and lovely. I was here, I was working, but I did not live stream, but it was a beautiful day. Saturday was picture perfect. It was 72, the low was 54, and we had a peak gust of 18 miles an hour. That's nothing. And then on Sunday, it was 75, start of the morning at 55, peak gust was 20. And there was another gorgeous day when I was at Busch Gardens with the family, 78 degrees. And then, Sunday was Busch Gardens. Monday was Colonial Williamsburg. So I had a great time to be out in great weather. Sadly, I think these days are going to be rough because of the coastal low, but I can be forward thinking and thinking you're going to love the 18th and the 19th. That's where I see things are going in terms of good weather, good weekends, bad weekends, right? If you kind of have to classify lousy weather from good weather, it's the way things are, apparently. 76 was the high today, going back 1941, the record high of 92. So far, we've picked up 900s. We're not getting any more in Norfolk, but that's how much rain we've had. And if you're keeping score, we are precisely 4.80. That's almost 5 inches below normal for Norfolk and running about an inch below for October. Am I worried? No. Should you be worried? No. Even if you're a farmer or a landscaper or a gardener, I think we still have to get through the November, December. We'll wait till we get closer to the growing season. But right now, there's going to be a lot of rain, 1 to 3 for southeast Virginia, possibly 3 to 6 more rain just from this coastal storm this weekend. And last year, we had almost 45 inches. A difference of about 9.5 compared to last year. All right, it is now 8 o'clock straight up. Just checking in with your comments. I want to say hi to you. Let's see here. Taj says he'll be around. Great. Thank you for letting me know. I'll be live streaming on Saturday. Wanted you to be, because we'll be in the throes of it by then, and some might be saying, hey, this is really rough. Can you make it go away? I'm just the messenger, but I do think it's going to be a pretty tough weekend to take, especially if outdoor activities are what you're basing it on. Let's get back to the actual maps. If you're in the military, sometimes you could have family near and far, anywhere and everywhere. It's raining in parts of Arizona, New Mexico. Looks like Santa Fe's got some showers, maybe some thunderstorms there, but nothing severe. I'm going to zoom back out, maybe look into Texas. We've got a lot of scattered showers across the Lone Star State at this hour. Here is at 8:01 Eastern Time, a couple of showers around Dallas. And if we slide back toward the Carolinas, you could see some rain moving across eastern North Carolina. We've already highlighted, but it's raining also in parts of South Carolina. This is all associated with the same front that's moving through basically Hampton Roads and the Outer Banks at this time. Let's keep moving because our dew points have really dropped. They're around 40 in Pittsburgh. That seems to be a theme here, Pittsburgh and New York City. I would imagine there's some 30s up here too, as they're already concerned about freeze watches and frost advisories going into the next 24, 36 hours. What dew points mean, we talk about this all the time. When it's in the 50s, it's comfortable. We'll be peaking back up into the low 60s, I think, by the time we hit Saturday. Low Saturday, dew point's about 62, Sunday 63, and then it bounces back down 55 on Monday. But still, even in the low 60s, it's still relatively pleasant. It's not July, and for October, low 60s, pretty high for October. So we usually keep it in the 40s and 50s. Now, temperatures right now, 8 o'clock. 67 right now in Virginia Beach, Chesapeake, and Portsmouth. Temperature right now in Smithfield is 67. And we're thinking, hey, we're going to be down in the 50s tonight, mid to upper 50s across the board. 66, the current temperature in Franklin, while our friends in Edenton currently at 69, Currituck 69, Manteo at 67. If you look around the region, you can see there are some 50s. You go back to Beckley, they're at 53, Pittsburgh, PA, 56. Nation's capital right now is at 65, while Virginia Beach is at 67. So the outlook, you notice it's how interesting the Climate Prediction Center has carved out a somewhat below normal stretch here. I would imagine that had a lot of input from the coastal low that has yet to form, but it will be coming up and it will drop the temperatures. So somewhere between the 16th and 22nd, we might be slightly below average. I think we're below average tomorrow. But as you can see, the future temperatures in the clock at the top, by the time we hit, say, October 14th or so, some of that cold air begins to move into Montana, the Dakotas, probably cold enough to snow across Lake Superior, and so it goes. But we will keep that cold air away from us for a little while. Temperature trend tomorrow in the mid to upper 60s across the area. The warmest day I have is Saturday at 72, but should be in the upper 60s as we head into Sunday and Monday. Just checking in with comments. Well, I got a note or a question from Forehand. I guess it could be the handle. What time will be the worst? I think probably Saturday night. I'll just spitball it and say 9 to midnight. 9 p.m. Saturday to about midnight, it will reach a fever pitch. And probably some of the rain will be most intense right into Sunday morning. So 2 a.m. Sunday morning, heavy rain. You're going to get heavy rain. This is all going to creep up from the south. So if I said at 8 o'clock Saturday morning, it's dry probably in the eastern shore, but it's already raining in Hatteras, Ocracoke, and filling into Currituck and so on. So the southern slider, as it were, will inch further up throughout the day on Saturday and just kind of linger. That's the sad part of it all. Because it does affect us on our weekend. Now, as far as the trend, let me show you the future rainfall again. Just to mention, if you're just joining us, this is a projection. This is not a freak out factor like, oh my gosh, 7 inches, where am I going to put it? Just hold the phone. These things can shuffle, these things can change, but this is over a period of time for Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. So we're looking at a very large block of time, as you can see, through midday Tuesday. Just depends. Does that low come out here and get stuck? Does it say, well, I like it here, I might just do some loop-de-loops? Sometimes that's what happens. And if it does, it may very well throw some of the heaviest rain right now projected in places like Edenton, in Currituck, and Nags Head. So I'm thinking 3 to 6 plus is the early estimate, 1 to 3 for southeast Virginia. And you'll notice, you look at Roanoke, hardly much at all, a 1/4 inch. And even Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill might have less than an inch. It's all going to depend on track, and it is, let's face it, only Wednesday. Eastern Shore, Virginia for Thursday tomorrow, mid-60s for Saxes, Onancock, Chincoteague about 64 with a high rip current risk, 66 for Cape Charles, Exmoor, and as we slide down to the OBX Outer Banks tomorrow, Kill Devil Hills at 68, Nags Head 68, Manio about 69, and Rodanthe at 69 degrees, low 70s, more common for Ocracoke and Hatteras. So our Storm Prediction Center maps really, thankfully, are not much of a factor. You know, I like to pinpoint, if there are, pinpoint some areas that might feature some isolated severe or scattered severe in yellow, but as you can see from right between now and midnight, nothing to see here. Nothing to see here through now and daybreak. Thursday, lower 48. That doesn't mean there couldn't be some thunder, but the severe threat for Thursday is a nothing burger. Nothing to see. Nothing to see here. We slide into Friday, same situation. Right now there's no severe weather expected. So even though we've got a slow-moving coastal low, it's going to be the heavy amount of rain, the damaging wind, and also this prolonged event that's going to be the biggest issues for coastal flooding, tidal flooding, and all the rest. Let me show you how this is going to likely play out. Now, this is very important because some of you, as we saw a moment ago, we have some rain down here. By 11 o'clock tonight, a lot of this should start to dry out. And by the time you wake up tomorrow morning, the winds are still busy. They're coming out of the northeast at 15, even though the sun is out in full force. Let me say that again. Sun's coming out full force. It's like, oh, this weatherman, he's off his nut. He says we're going to have a storm. Well, the storm's coming this weekend. It's not coming tomorrow. But we're going to have some strong winds and a lot of sunshine for your Thursday. Now, this model tends to be a little bit, over-exaggerated on the cloud cover. I still think it's a mostly sunny afternoon, and this wants to throw in a few drops of rain. I'm not buying it. Now, if I have to eat crow tomorrow and say, oh, we did get some drops, we'll see. But I think this is probably overstated. We'll wait to see another run tonight to see if this disappears altogether. Could represent some clouds, but I think it's a mostly sunny day tomorrow with the brisk wind. Heading into Friday, we start off partly cloudy. Not bad, but then we start to cloud up the second half of your Friday. I'll show you what this looks like full screen. So by 5 o'clock Friday, it's game on. The low off the coast of Florida has evolved, and it's starting to inch northward. By 5 o'clock Friday, we've already got, at 11 o'clock, we have an abundance of clouds, and it's game on as we head into the weekend. So for tonight, I do expect clearing skies. It may not be clear where you are yet, because right now it's 8:08 p.m. on the eastern side, Eastern Standard Time, Eastern Daylight Time. Thursday morning, I think we're down to 54 peninsulas, 56 in North Carolina. Pick out your favorite town, Ahoskie, 52. 51 for Franklin, could easily drop to 50 in Wakefield by tomorrow morning, and double fives, double nickels for Cape Charles. I've got us at 58 for Norfolk, 55 for Moyock, and still in the 60s, holding on in Corolla and Nags Head. Thursday afternoon, 66, so we're in the mid to upper 60s. I have 69 for North Carolina, but there could easily be a 70 in Elizabeth City, 72 in Edenton, and 69 in Suffolk for a high temperature tomorrow. I have us at 66 for Matthews, 66 for Norfolk, Melfa, and 67 for Corolla. So here's your first warning. WTKR News 3 7-day forecast. 68 Friday, 72 Saturday. Probably a light jacket. When it's really damp and windy and it kind of cuts through you, you might think a light jacket, this maybe not heavy jacket, but certainly it could be very, very damp, and there's certainly a rain jacket wouldn't hurt, but still dealing with winds on Sunday. Monday it still lingers, and we're hopeful that things will dry out in time for Tuesday, Wednesday. I am hopeful that by the time we hit Thursday, Friday, and into next weekend, when I say next weekend, I'm talking specifically the 18th and 19th of October, things will be much, much improved. Probably another weekend like we just had could very well come in on the 18th and 19th of October. Before I get too far down the road, let me just show you real quick some great happy shots. This is very recent. This is from the 7th of October. That was yesterday. This came from Lisa from the moon at Town Center. This also was a supermoon and the harvest moon all thrown into one. Fort Monroe sunrise this morning. Even though today had scattered showers, rumbles of thunder, Bradley Fullwood found the gem of this day. By getting up early, he captured the sunrise in Fort Monroe, and I believe William Wood did the same thing in Buckrow Beach this morning, looking very, very pretty, very nice indeed. So thank you for sharing that with us. I do appreciate that very, very much. Now, again, first warning forecast, 66 tomorrow, 68 on Friday, in the low 70s on Saturday. Just a reminder, we will be coming back as I come back, kind of reset here a second. Let me see, I just want to reset if I have the radar. I do. I'll come back. Let me go back on the radar. This is the current situation. So we are going to be clearing out. The clouds are the slowest, will be the last to leave, but they're trying to pull out of Virginia now. But you can clearly see it's raining around Wanchese, raining around Hatteras. But by the time you get to about 11 o'clock tonight, a lot of that should slow down. If it's not gone by 11, expect clear skies for much of the overnight in southeast Virginia as things start to improve there. Speaking of, well, how about if you're hungry? Pizza. Who's hungry for pizza? Now open. The big story is that Marco's has, in fact, a new location that they're very, very proud of and would love for you to check it out. So they're giving away 100 free pizzas from this location if you register. I am encouraging you to sign up for tomorrow's winners because we're giving away 22 pizzas tomorrow. I know this may be a little bit hard to conceive, but again, we've got 12 pizzas going to one individual. That's pizza for a year. And then we're going to give away 10 individual pizzas tomorrow. That's also what we normally do on Thursdays. But in addition to all that, we're doing something we've never done before. I haven't seen it done before. And that's give away 100 free pizzas from this new location on South Battlefield Boulevard. If you want to jot this down, I encourage you to screenshot this. Grab your phone. It's form.jotform.com. And then it's /Marco's Pizza Virginia. There's an S there, Marco's Pizza Virginia /First Warning Live giveaway. Once you're on that site, you'll clearly see that you've arrived to the right location. You give them your name, your email, and tell them when you would like to pick up your free pizza. It's that simple. So you don't have to randomize anything with these 100 pizzas because they want to give them away. And I hope he gives them all away tonight. I hope there's only one per household. I do know that. And they are going to ask you what you want. Do you want pepperoni? You want sausage? You want deluxe? You want mushroom? They do ask what type of pizza you want and when do you want to pick it up. Those aren't really hard questions. Now, if you've had a hard day at work and you're like, I don't want to think about it, it's too much work to think about, well, then you don't do it. But if you want to do it, it's there. I'm trying to give away some pizza. It's not easy giving away free pizza. It really isn't. But we'll do it all again tomorrow when we revisit this coastal storm as well. Just remember, it doesn't matter if the weather is sunny or if the weather is serious. And this weekend, it's going to be serious because we've got to deal with all the rain, the wind, and the flooding. But I'll have all details coming up tomorrow. But just remember, every day is a gift. Even the ones when it rains, every day is a gift. So make the most of it in your neighborhood, and we'll see you here tomorrow. Take care.